Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a awesome video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about how a lot of people are just going to learn the hard way. And what do I mean by that? We're going to talk about that because a lot of people think certain investments are going to do great. I think they're going to learn the hard way. A lot of people think the dollar is getting stronger. I think they're going to learn the hard way. A lot of people think all this bad stuff and negative stuff in the world is just going to blow over, and I think they're going to learn the hard way. And the naysayers out there that have been talking trash about silver, selling their silver, talking bad about silver, I also think, go ahead and say it, they're going to learn the hard way. So that's what today's video is going to be about. We're going to show you guys some stuff. We're going to talk about some different stuff, and I really hope you enjoy the video. And if you do enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And if you're not subscribed, do the ultimate thing and hit that subscribe button. It helps out more than you know. So before we jump right in, let's first talk a little bit, about a minute, about what happened yesterday. I know some people were wondering, are you okay? What's going on? So I ended up doing some work over the weekend, and the work that I put in, I was really trying to push it out, knock it out by Sunday. So it had me work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and literally running on about 2 hours of sleep each night. I wanted to get started early in the morning when it was cooler. And I ended up pushing myself into the late evening with 2 hours of sleep on Friday night, about 3 hours on Saturday night. And a couple hours on, it was 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, and about 3 on Saturday. I ended up then going out and mowing my lawn because it was getting a little tall and the allergies destroyed me and I was just wiped out. So that's why I wasn't on yesterday. But like I said, I have an awesome video for you guys today. So jumping right in, the first thing we're going to talk about is the dollar. Take a look at this. The dollar up to 99.23. Obviously, we're hearing a lot of talk about how the dollar's getting stronger and people are panicking for nothing. We've said this time and time again. Just because the dollar gets stronger does not mean the dollar has more purchasing power. The DXY shows you guys the dollar index based against other fiat currencies. Every paper currency across the globe is falling, and they have been because they continue to print money when they don't have the money. Think about if you had a household and you could just print money out of thin air. Would you take the hard road and do the right thing and you know, be wise? No, the average person would just print and spend. Excuse me, my allergies are still bad. But in a way, Americans do have that option. We have credit cards, and that's why a lot of Americans are just running up their credit cards. We have some of the highest credit card debt that we've ever seen in the United States, and it's continuing. People are essentially living off of credit. They're getting what they need. They think their life is going great, but they're increasingly running up their credit cards. Now, this is not going to end well. We have a debt crisis in the United States, not just at the Federal Reserve level, at the U.S. debt level, but we also have a debt crisis on an individual level because a lot of people out there have a lot of debt. Now, I know there's some people that watch this channel that do not go into debt. Maybe their house, maybe their car, but that's about it. And that's very wise. I mean, I've talked about my situation with a certain amount of debt. However, my debt right now was because I ended up buying a bunch of silver at $31. Poor me. I charged my credit card on 0% interest and ran it up at 0% though for a year at $31 silver. I'm pretty happy with that. I've talked about that a couple times. A couple people said, oh great, thanks. I bought silver at 31 and now it was at 29. I lost money because of you. If that person is listening, you're probably sitting pretty now, that's for sure, because that was only 3 months ago. Taking a quick look, though, also, it's not just that. It's also a lot of futures contracts. A lot of people aren't realizing what's going on with the futures and the spot. Futures price on silver right now, sitting at $51.94. Now, at first when I pulled this up, I had to take a quick look. I was like, what? How is the 50? Oh, it must have turned around and now it's back where it was. The futures price is essentially accurate because the spot price is supposed to be less than the futures price. So when I seen this, I said, okay, it's all done now. We're back to normal. And then all of a sudden I checked the actual physical price, and I was like, whoa, oh, wow. 53.35. And I said, oh, wow, because at first when I had pulled it up, it was 52.95, which was a big difference from this, basically $52 futures price, 53.35 the spot price. We've talked about this the other day. Obviously, there are a lot of people that are selling their silver. We know that's happening. We've looked at coin shops. We've looked online. There's a lot of selling going on. You talk to any people, except for the people that follow this channel, because I don't think most of you guys are selling. From a survey that I did a little while back, people ain't selling here in this community. We're actually not really buying because the price just keeps going up. I'll be honest, I've slowed a little bit down on buying, but I bought a bunch the other day at 52, and I'm sorry, 50, even though the spot price was technically 51. The guy gave it to me at 50. So I was pretty happy now looking back at that, even though I was questioning, should I even be buying at 50? Because even I question sometimes when stuff doesn't make sense. Actually got a text from a buddy of mine, and he was telling me, hey, you see what's going on? This is crazy. We've talked about this here on the channel. I said, yeah, I follow it. And you know I got a YouTube channel now, so hey, check it out, man. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of silver actually leaving the country, though, right now, which is a little worrisome, in my opinion, as Americans just don't understand why people would invest in a rock and then pay to have it sitting around. They're going to learn the hard way. And that, like I said, we're gonna hear that a lot of times today. They're going to learn the hard way. Obviously, there was a lot going on with the Trump tariffs. Trump coming out and saying, you know, hey, we're going to be okay. It might be a little painful, but we'll be all right in the end. It will all be fine. However, I don't actually think that it will be fine. Although it did have people, you know, rebound in the stock market a little bit. People felt a little comfortable hearing him say that. However, you know, I've talked about this scenario multiple times. If you're a coach of a basketball team or any kind of team, a football team, you know your team is going to lose. You're up against maybe the best team in the country, best team in the state, whatever the case may be. You're taking your kids out there. Are you going to tell them, hey, just go out there and have fun? We're going to lose this game. You're not going to say that. You're going to hype them up. You're going to be like, today is our day. We may have lost a lot of games this year, but today we're up against a good team, but we're going to be better today. Why? We've got a lot going for us. You're going to try to pluck out the positives and essentially maybe try to build morale. That's exactly what Trump's trying to do. Do I like Trump? I like Trump. But ultimately, he has to fib a little and tell you that things are going to be okay. And will things be okay? We've talked about this too. I'm not convinced that, you guys are going to starve. I'm not convinced the people that are going to learn the hard way, it's going to be the end of the world for them. They're just going to severely miss out. You know, you take a look at Bitcoin right now, what's going on in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is getting destroyed right now. It was even lower. It's actually down to 110,000. But people are still paying attention to Bitcoin. Maybe they got some Bitcoin investments. They're holding them. They're not willing to sell them because they don't want to miss out. And then all of a sudden they sell their Bitcoin, they buy silver, and then they're worried maybe silver will plunge, Bitcoin will rebound, whatever. People are always late to the party. It's just human nature, I think. They follow what's going on. And right now, we're still not hearing silver get talked about much on mainstream media. Silver should be talked about. Now, right now, we're down to 53.17. And maybe over the course of the evening, by the time you guys watch this video, we'll be back down in the 52s, possibly. With that being said, it's going to be people, it's already coming down. It's not coming down. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. You know, you look at the chart. This is just a recent chart. We see an up, then we see a down. Then we see a bigger up, little down. Bigger up, little down. Bigger up, little down. And so on and so on. When you zoom out a little bit, this is a 5-day chart. Can you imagine? There were people up here at 51 when it came all the way down here to 48.50, and they sold. They sold because they thought, oh, that was the top. Look, it's already coming down. And they got out. And then all of a sudden, within one day, we were back up there. We dipped down. Some people even made the comment, look, it's having a hard time staying at that $51 range. And then, poof, up and away. Could we have a little bit of a pullback? I mean, eventually something will give, maybe. But with what's going on right now, there is huge moves. A lot of silver is filtering back overseas. Gold is coming into the country, which is good. Silver is flowing out of the country, which is bad. Now, you've got to ask yourself why. Probably because certain people, not Americans obviously, think that silver is undervalued. We know it's undervalued with the huge short position. We're seeing a short squeeze on silver happening right now. A lot of people don't even understand what short squeezes are, but we're seeing it. We're seeing it happen. All these short positions that have been built up against silver over the years eventually will come home to roost, and we've talked about that. But now that we're seeing it, people are in denial. And I'll be honest, even I am a little shocked how quick it's going up. But here's the thing. By the time people realize what's going on, they will have already missed the opportunity of a lifetime. There's no way around it. You have to end up picking yourself up some silver. People that are on the sidelines waiting need to pick up some. Now, this is not financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. But it's important that people realize what's going on. The dollar is not going up in value. It's going down in value. The only thing that's happening is it's going up against other countries' currencies. So they think they're doing good, but they're not. Or they think their Bitcoin, oh, look at Bitcoin. It just hit a new all-time high a week ago. Okay, it's going sideways. I hate to say that. We're seeing a lot of sideways trading. A lot of people have been borrowing against Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised to hear Michael Saylor come out over the next week and say how his company is going to be buying huge amounts of Bitcoin to try to prop up the sector. When this happens, he's getting destroyed. Now, yes, his dollar cost average is fairly low. I think he's at 86,000 on average for his Bitcoin collection. But at the end of the day, how quick can that turn? How quick do people start realizing that cryptocurrencies aren't the answer? Is there going to be some that will do well? Yes, they need a fairy tale. They have to have that. They need to keep people buying cryptocurrencies, stable coins, whatever the case may be. That way they can keep buying real money, gold, silver, and stick us with the essentially the crap money, the digital fake money, the thin air assets that have no real value. Ultimately, people are going to learn the hard way. There's just no way around it. We've talked about the mining ratios, how, you pull 7 or 8 ounces of silver out of the ground compared to every 1 ounce of gold, but yet you have a gold-silver ratio that's 80-1 roughly, and I'm sure that will be coming down today or tomorrow into the high 70s, but it's happening slow, and when stuff happens slow, people don't realize what's actually happening. They get blindsided. When something moves fast, if all the millionaires put into some cryptocurrency and skyrocket the price up on Monday, and all of a sudden it makes the news, mainstream media, let's be honest, they control mainstream media. The rich elites control it. They talk about how this cryptocurrency just skyrocketed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then what do? People want to jump in. They want to put their money in. Nobody wants to take the safe road. The safe road essentially is silver. It is silver. It is gold. It's sound money. It's been sound money since the beginning of time. Literally, Jesus, if you believe the Bible, Jesus got sold out for, 30 pieces of silver? Think about that. I believe in the Bible, so I believe that happened. But think about what 30 ounces, I'm sorry, I got to correct that. Not 30 ounces, 30 pieces. Each piece being about the size of a silver dime. When silver actually meant something. But even if you don't believe religious viewpoints, you're not a fan of the Bible, whatever the case may be, take a look at what happened to Rome as they continued to debase the money. At one point, they were clipping coins. Why? They were clipping little pieces of silver off of each coin until then they'd take the clippings, they'd melt it down, they'd add in some bronze, they'd add in some copper. All of a sudden, now we've got, instead of 99% silver, now we got 90% silver, 50% silver, 40% silver, 10% silver, before there was no silver. Now, you look at what's happened here in America. The same thing. In fact, even clipping coins was a thing here in the United States. A lot of people don't know that. It was kind of funny. I was talking to a lady the other day, and when she told me why a coin has ridges, it blindsided me. I knew the answer, but I was shocked to hear someone else say it, especially someone that don't believe in silver or don't collect coins. She knew that little tidbit of information. Yes, in the old days, they were clipping American coins, a little piece of a dime, little piece of a quarter, little piece of whatever. And then they'd melt it down and they'd build up silver. And then they could sell the silver. Why don't they do that today? Because now we put the ridges. It would be spotted quick and easy. Actually, they're doing a new thing now. If you're a coin collector and you're searching for quarters, nickels, pennies, whatever the case may be, the nickels, I had 10 rolls of nickels come in the other day in a box, and literally every one of them was short 2 nickels. I said, damn, I just lost $2 out of that deal. I'm sorry, $1 out of that deal. I said that wrong. Someone's going to correct me on my math. But yeah, it's crazy. And people just aren't catching on, but they're going to learn the hard way. I'm going to say that a lot of times today. In fact, I'm going to title the video, People Are Going to Learn the Hard Way, and they are. Those of you that have been stacking for a while, a lot of you were excited. You're excited that silver is going up as quick as it's going up. But a lot of people are wishing they had picked up more silver. Now, I don't think $52, $53 is the end of the road. Not by any means. And it's not just silver. Obviously, silver is going up a whole lot faster, but gold is going up too. Just yesterday, gold hit 4,100. A lot of people were calling me, texting me, hey, did you see gold? 4,100. I saw it. I think we're going to hit 42 probably today. Look at it now, 41.63. We're already climbing. A lot of coins, I'll be honest, I had a couple coins that I ordered for someone, and now they're like, oh, man, I can't afford them now. I'm like, it's just going to keep going up. You know, so who knows? We'll see how this plays out. And me personally, I like putting extra money. If I have a little extra money, I like putting it into silver. I think silver is better than gold. Do I regret buying my gold? Obviously, I wish I had put more of my money into silver, but I bought a few gold coins here and there and held them. Now, I wish I had all silver, but we'll see what happens. When this does turn around, if it turns around, remember, silver falls harder and faster than gold. But like we've talked about on this channel, when silver and gold are going up, silver will go a whole lot faster than gold. In fact, right now, gold up 1.34%. Silver up 1.57%, a little bit more. But even if you looked at it yesterday we had a huge day. Silver was up 250, something like that at one point. And we're just continuing to climb. Right now we're at 53.09. Yeah, we had a little jump. Every time you see these little jumps, these are people buying. That's people buying. That's what this is down here, this chart. This is volume of the trades. More people are getting into it. Now, here's the thing. I talked to some people, and they're like, oh, I wish I'd gotten in sooner. I feel bad, like I missed the boat. Okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that heard about silver years ago. They heard about it first at $20 maybe, but they didn't get in. If I told you, if silver was sitting at $20, let's say, You didn't see any of what you've seen. And I shouldn't say that. I should say 53 because y'all all have it in your mind already. Silver's at 53. You guys are paying attention. If you're anything like me, you're checking the silver price multiple times a day. So we're going to start with 53. If I told you, hey, in a couple days, silver's going to hit $75, I am by no means saying that. But if I did say that, what would you do? You would question it. You would not run out and buy because you would look at it and say, well, he's just a YouTuber. He doesn't know for sure what's going to happen. And you would be absolutely right. I don't know for sure what is going to happen. The only thing I can look at is the huge short positions that are out there that eventually will put companies in a hard spot as the silver price goes up. Now, we are entering the season where silver usually does skyrocket. Summertime is when silver is not supposed to do very well. It's supposed to have huge pullbacks in the summer. Did we see that this past summer? No, we didn't. What we saw was flatline. We've seen it kind of just going steady, toeing the line, slowly going up a little bit, but not really drastically in any way. People have had opportunities. I had one kid tell me the other day, he's like, I wish I had grinded a little bit more when it was, under 40. There was opportunity to grind, but a lot of people didn't. This is the chart year to date. You had opportunities all through here, and now we're starting to pick up where we're seeing a whole lot more green and a whole lot. See how you have all the green here? You have a couple little spraggles of red, and then all of a sudden a green right behind it. Over here, this was consolidation, and it was slowly consolidating higher. We had this huge dip in the end of the first financial quarter, and then all of a sudden came right back up and continued going forward. Ultimately, I think a lot of people are just going to learn the hard way. They're going to miss out. Taking a quick look, we've already actually looked at the gold price. Futures gold sitting a little bit higher than the gold spot price. We got the gold futures price at 41.74. Bitcoin not really looking good right now, but yet some people still want to hold out instead of taking their Bitcoin money. Because here's the thing, at a certain point, people are going to realize sound money is where it's at. And if that happens, how many people are going to be prepared? A lot of people are going to be left on the sidelines. When crypto starts unloading, they're going to be kicking themselves in the butt that they didn't sell first and they didn't buy gold and silver. And like I said, just because gold did not do as good as silver does not really matter. Gold did really well this year so far. And taking a quick look at the top financial assets based on market cap, take a look at silver. Silver's sitting right now. And here's the thing. This is kind of an unfair chart. I feel this is biased. And here's why. They're still showing the silver price at 51.72, which is not the spot price. That's the futures price. What are people paying for silver today would actually take out, we'd be maybe even past Apple. We might be in between Apple and Microsoft if they were using the actual price. Because they're showing 51. You cannot pick up silver for 51.72 right now unless you are lucky. I told one of my friends and subscribers and members of the channel, I think I'm done buying silver. I don't think I can stomach paying more than $50 for silver. I said, yeah, maybe if I trade an ounce to someone and I see what it's at, I might order and then trade it with them and then keep the other one. Who knows? However, silver is going up. For the people that have been already stacking for a while, your time has come. This is the opportunity, essentially, of a lifetime. We are going up, and we are going a lot higher, a lot sooner than people think. I read one analysis on silver estimating that we will see $65 to $70 by the end of the year. I had one comment come in. Is your price forecast still $48 for the end of the year? I mean, seeing where we're at now, no. I think we're going to be a whole lot higher. I could picture 60. If I was to re-give my guess now, I would say $60 at the end of the year. But I put in my guess at the beginning of the year. I said 48. I asked other people to put in their guess at the beginning of the year. Some people said a lot higher. Some people said a lot lower. I can't wait to pull that up as we get closer to the end of the year and read them comments. See who's going to be the closest. It's definitely going to be exciting. I wish I had done a prize, even though I don't think anybody will be close to what we guessed or where we're at. So it's definitely exciting. We got gold sitting always at number one. I can't picture gold losing its number one spot. But then we have NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, and then silver, then Amazon, then Bitcoin. Thing is, when you look at what's happening to Bitcoin, who knows? Maybe Facebook could pass it in a little bit, but I don't see silver getting passed up by Bitcoin anytime soon. In fact, I would not be surprised in the next week if we see silver pass Google. And looking at this, it won't be but a month before it passes Apple, and then right behind Apple, boom, we pass Microsoft. Then we get a little bit of a wait. Maybe by the end of the year, we will see rightful place, real gold, real silver, and everything else underneath it. And that's where I think we're heading. It's just going to be a matter of time. We got the debt continuing to explode. Nothing seems to be changing. We have paper to silver ratio right now still at 360 to 1. 360 people think that they have an ounce of silver when only one is going to have it in the end. It's like a game of musical chairs. We've talked about that time and time again. The paper to gold ratio sitting at 139. Less on that, but still too high in my opinion. Taking a quick look, I want to take a quick look at dollar to silver. Where is it? Dollar to gold, paper, dollar to crypto, dollar to gold, dollar to gold. Man, I don't even see. Oh, there it is right there. Dollar to silver ratio now, $1,229. Think about that for a quick minute. Back in 1913, it was $2.72. As in, when you look at the amount of dollars that are out there to silver, it's drastically higher. I think we're going to see a run up on the silver price. Are we going to hit $1,229? No, that's not what I'm saying. Because this would be if we were to take the dollars and basically back them to silver. That would not be what would realistically happen. We could see the dollars get back to silver and gold. We could even see something happen where they use oil, but I don't think they're going to use oil. I think eventually people will demand sound money when they realize what's happening, when they realize they've been being lied to, when the system is crashing down. We have a government that can't even pay its bills. And people just aren't catching on to what's really happening. They're going through their life. They're so tired from work, they're not even thinking. They're just in autopilot, like drones. And then by the time they get out of work, they're exhausted. They don't even want to come home and cook anymore. What do? Go out to eat, slap it on a credit card. Wake up in the morning, I need my fix. Let's go to Starbucks. These companies are eventually going to be hurting when the American people start hurting. And they're already starting to feel it. If jobs start slowing down, what's that going to do? It's going to tighten up people's money. And people think, I've heard people tell me this, I don't work for that company, so I don't care. Here's the thing you got to understand. If one company, one big company in your area starts slowing down, that affects a lot of people. It affects the restaurants. It affects the Starbucks. It affects the fast food. Because people will eventually say, you know what, enough's enough. We're going to have to start eating at home for a little bit. Babe, I'm cooking dinner tonight. Honey, you need to cook. We need to do something. We need to start saving money. We need to start paying off the credit cards. Because if they pull a Paul Volcker, think about that. Interest rates skyrocketing. Can you imagine? Right now they're doing what? They're bringing interest rates down. Why? Because they say the dollar's looking good. The economy's looking good. Who buys that nonsense? Unfortunately, the average American people that don't really understand what's going on, they're asleep at the wheel because they're exhausted. They're taking care of maybe their next generation, their previous generation. Maybe they're taking care of kids, whatever the case may be. They're getting eaten up in debt. It's just a matter of time before bankruptcy comes knocking. Those of you that have made sound decisions already, picked up some silver, here's the thing. Do I care if inflation gets bad? Ultimately, I don't want to spend more money on stuff. However, I know that I'm okay because I've picked up a little bit of silver. The silver is going up in value. Prices of other stuff is going up in value. But a lot of people are not prepared for it. And when they realize it, it's probably going to be too late. They're just going to learn the hard way. And that's how I came up with this video. I really see what's coming, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. With that being said, we're going to pretty much wrap up here. Only a 30-minute video today, but definitely a good one. A lot for you guys to think about because a lot of people are scared. People that have big stacks are looking at $53, and they're saying, dude, should I sell? Should I sell? I don't want to sell. When I see this skyrocket to a fair gold-silver ratio, maybe I'll consider. I had someone ask me the other day, you said you would sell if silver ever hit 50. You said you would sell half. Are you still going to do it? No, I'm not. Because the game is rigged. It absolutely is rigged. They rig all the numbers for you, and they make you think things are just around the corner from getting better. They're not. Realistically, they're probably going to get worse. I hate to say that. Am I a doom and gloomer? No. But I'm being real. When you look at what's happening, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, you made it this far and you're not subscribed, shame on you. But if you are subscribed, you're the man or the woman. You're the bomb. No, I can't say that word. Certain words you can't say on YouTube. With that being said, hopefully you're subscribed. And I really do appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment. And I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Even though I'm going to get in trouble for saying that one 4-letter word at the end. Darn. What was I thinking?